One of the most beloved traditions in New England is the Fall Fair. Many began as agricultural shows, where local farmers could exhibit their livestock and view the latest farming equipment being sold, all while partaking in various forms of entertainment and local foods. The next few weeks will see fairs take place all over Connecticut, in Goshen, Haddam, Woodstock, Bethlehem, Hebron, and North Haven. In this episode, we will take a close look at 3 of those fairs and talk about the impact that fairs have on Connecticut. The Municipal Voice is the Connecticut Conference of Municipalities podcast in collaboration with WNHH LP 103.5 FM. I'm your host, Matt Ford. As always, be sure to give us a like and let us know what you're thinking in the comments. CCM's Municipal Voice podcast continues to present a key forum on important state-local issues. The views expressed do not necessarily reflect the consensus views of CCM or member municipal leaders. First up, we spoke with Scott Freer of the Goshen Fair, which will be happening this Labor Day weekend, as it has for decades. So, Scott, thanks for joining us on the Municipal Voice today.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
So, first off, could you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about what you do here at the Goshen Fair?
My name is Scott Freer. What I do, I act as acting president of the Goshen Agricultural Society, which is a group that hosts the annual Goshen Fair every year and manages the property, and we rent and lease the property out to different venues and try to keep the grounds up and keep it for a nice place for people to come.
Nice. So the society is there year-round, and you have other smaller things going on, but the fair is kind of your big annual...
Fair is one of our biggest attractions, and this year will be our 112th annual fair.
112th. So that started in math.
It started in 1910.
1910.
But
okay,
we missed 2 years. We missed 2 years because of the war.
Which one?
1932, I think it was.
So World War II.
World War II.
Okay.
And we missed a year because of COVID.
Okay. World War II and COVID. That's not bad, though. That's a pretty good record.
Yep.
So that's a long history. How did it start in Goshen? Like, why is it here?
Back in the days, way before my time, when the town, Route 63, which is the main thoroughfare that runs parallel with the fairgrounds, was nothing but dirt roads.
Okay.
The town's basic agricultural was known for its agricultural. The farms that produce, the typical farmers in a small town. So all the farmers got together and wanted to have some contest about who has the best cows, who has the best vegetables, who has the best of anything to do with agricultural. So they got together, and on this property up here that started 112 years ago, 115 years ago, they started the fairs.
Whose property was it when it started? Was it one of the farmers?
This one of the farmers' property, to the best of my knowledge, and then it blossomed into what they call the Agricultural Society.
That's
It was
cool.
a preserved land.
So it didn't start off with Ferris wheels and stuff, cotton candy for kids. It started off as farmers wanting to compete with each other.
Back then, it was nothing but a couple of tents and horse and buggies. And they used to do the horse and buggy races up and down the dirt road strip, which is now Route 63.
Wow. None of that for this year?
Not this year, no. No horse and buggies.
You are listening to the Municipal Voice on WNHH 103.5 FM. Next, we will revisit our conversation with Gene Lewis of the North Haven Fair about what makes their event so special. Gene, thanks for joining us today.
Nice to be here.
So tell us, first of all, how you initially got involved with the fair. Did you start as a volunteer and work your way up to being on the board? How does that all work?
So I've been attending the fair since I moved to Connecticut. I'm not a native of Connecticut, with my family. And I actually got involved through Scouts. The Scout unit that I was working with got involved doing some of the recycle and the trash for the fair. And next thing I knew, I was judging cookies in the cookie department. And little by little, here I am all these years later. And it's not even been that many. It's about 15 years later on the board of directors, trying to bring the agriculture, the farm, the family, the fun, the entertainment, and all of that to all of the neighboring communities.
And you mentioned, the volunteers and starting with the Boy Scouts. How important is volunteer work to putting on the fair?
The fair runs on volunteers. We don't have a paid staff. Everybody that comes down here is a volunteer. We have one person on maintenance, that's it.
Okay.
Everybody else is a volunteer. They come down, they bring their ideas, they bring their time, their talent, and help us bring all of this to life for people in the community.
And if someone wanted to volunteer for, at this point, probably next year,
No, this year.
they can
No,
help
this
this year even. Okay.
Oh,
So if
yes.
someone wants to help out and volunteer with the fair, how do they find out? How do they contact?
So we have a section on our website. Our
Okay.
website's www.northaven-fair.
Okay.
There is a section there for volunteers. We do have volunteer days. We have volunteer night to night from 5:30 to 8, and then we have a volunteer day for Saturday from 10 to 4. We do provide lunch to come down. Oh yes, absolutely. We have our resident chef comes in and cooks lunch for everybody. And come down. We have a ton of things to do. We're always looking for people with different talents to bring new ideas or new projects to the fairgrounds. They've been around for a long time, and as time goes on, the fairgrounds age.
And is that need for volunteers only in like August, September, or is there stuff happening the rest of the year?
Year round.
So if someone wants to participate, there's something else going on. Oh, that's good to know.
Yep. Year round. We're always doing projects. Once the fair ends on Sunday, we'll be starting to plan for next year on Monday, if not before.
That's what one thing I was going to ask is how soon do you start on next year?
So, yeah, we've already to a point started planning for next year, only because there are certain acts that come back every year. So we renew them right off the bat before the fair's even over.
The good ones you got to book right away because there's lots of competition this time of year, I would imagine.
Absolutely.
How important is the fair to North Haven, and the great area? Does it contribute to the economy of North Haven?
It's an understatement. So the North Haven Fair has been here since 1942. We started over on Broadway, and we moved to this location on Washington Avenue in 1943. And we've been here since.
Okay.
So it truly is a family tradition. There's a family, all grown adults that compete every year in the cookie. They pick a cookie that they're all going to bake, and they win bragging rights and a blue ribbon as to who got judged the best cookie. This year they're doing chocolate chip cookies.
Does it change year to year, or does one person always kind of win in that family?
Oh no, it changes year to year.
So there is actual competition. Mom doesn't always win.
Absolutely. And they're adults, they have kids and grandkids, right?
Yeah.
And they compete against one another to see who gets the blue ribbon for their cookies. And that's the same with a number of other families that have been doing this for years. They compete on the best cake, or they compete on the biggest pumpkin, or the best flower arrangement. And they've been doing it for years. In terms of the impact on the economy, think about this, right? We're surrounded by, obviously, the businesses right here in North Haven, as well as New Haven, Wallingford, Meriden. And being one of 40 some odd fairs here in Connecticut, we draw a lot of people from all over the state, from Massachusetts, New Jersey, Rhode Island as well. We have, for instance, the truck and tractor pulls that are on Friday night. A lot of a number of the truck and tractor pull drivers will be coming from out of state, Massachusetts, Vermont, Rhode Island, to pull their tractor and pull their truck.
And do those out of state competitors bring a little bit of out of state fan base with them? Do they have
Absolutely. They bring their fan base, they bring their families, they bring those that want to watch to see, okay, when they now compete in their local hometown, what do I need to do to make my tractor or my truck stronger to beat that guy?
Yeah.
It's a lot of healthy competition across the various states with the trucks and tractor pulls.
Very cool. And what sort of attendance do you get for the fair? Like how many people do come in an average year?
That average actually varies, right? From anywhere from, say, 15,000 to about 30,000 a year.
Wow. Okay.
Yep. And that's kind of over the span of the fair, right? Like with everything, it ebbs and flows, based on the economy, based on, what type of entertainment and whatnot we bring in.
So if you have a big star one year, you might have more people, or the good weather.
Correct.
So it has been over 80 years at this point. Has there ever missed a year?
COVID,
so 2020?
2020, yep.
But that's the only one, huh?
It's the only one. So we persevered through the wars and everything else over the years, yeah.
But 2020, was 2021 a bigger year, a smaller year then, coming back?
I believe it was definitely better than where we had been in 2019.
Mm,
But if you think about where we were in 2021 from a COVID perspective,
yeah,
we were still a little anxious.
people were still nervous. Yeah.
Yep. And, things increased a little bit in 2022, and we'll see
Hmm.
how things go now in 2023.
Hope for that
Um,
continued growth year over year. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Do you have,
And
like what was your record-breaking year for attendance?
oh, that I don't know. I'd
Yeah.
have to go back through the history books and try and get that information for you. But it
Some year when
truly
there
is
was
a
a good act. Yeah.
mainstay, it's a mainstay of the town,
Yeah. Is
families come here, not only to compete in cookies and compete in other ways, grandparents bring their grandkids here now.
yeah.
Somebody was telling the story the other day. We have a whole area of kids games and they're all free. Toss
Well, that's
the
cool.
ring over the nose and throw the ball in the basket. But the big one is hula hoops. And
Hmm.
some of the kids that were 5, 6, 7 coming in and learning to do the hula hoop are now in
Yeah.
high school and college and they come back and do the hula hoop.
Oh, that's very cool.
So there are certain things that people want to see and they come back year and year after year for it.
That's neat.
It's a tradition.
Yeah. So you're not going to be the only fair around that weekend, or certainly this season. Do you
Correct.
talk to other agricultural fairs in the state? Do you share like tips and tricks with them, or just war stories, or?
Unfair question. So within Connecticut, there's what's called the Association of Connecticut Fairs.
Hmm.
And I'm part of that. All of the fairs are part of that. And there are
Hmm.
40 some odd fairs here in Connecticut. And yes, we do get together. We have 2 meetings a year where all of the fairs attend
Okay.
and share tips and advertising. You see the fair brochure that comes out. That's a culmination of what
Hmm.
happens at the association. There's the ct.ag website that's got all of the fairs listed there. There's statewide competition. So all of the
Okay.
fairs have an adult baking competition, a quilting competition, and a junior baking
Hmm.
competition. They select an adult and a junior recipe, and everybody bakes the same thing around the state. And then you compete at the state level.
Oh, wow.
The same with quilting. There's hand quilting and applique quilting. There's a number of different categories. You win at your fair, you then compete at the state level. And then there's the infamous apple pie baking
Hmm.
contest that everybody bakes a 2 crusted apple pie across the state and may the
Yep.
best apple pie win. So there's absolutely camaraderie across the state with all of
Hmm.
the different fairs. Even though there are 2 or 3 fairs the same weekend as we are, they're different fairs. One's out in Bethlehem, one's out in Hebron, and one's up in Wapping, up in Windsor. And each brings something different. Each is in a
Yeah.
different area of the state, and each has a different approach, not approach, but has different things at their fair.
Do they specialize in, or they have the best competitors for, or something?
No, they're just a different feel based
Yeah.
on where they're located. And, think about where the North Haven Fair is located. You're in New Haven, we're
Hmm.
right down the road. Bethlehem's way out,
Hmm.
Hebron's way out, Wapping's way out. So we're separated, but it's definitely a different demographic across the areas.
It's very interesting.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
so you talk about all the different areas of competition that you have. How do you go about organizing that? Like, how do you find the judges? What goes into organizing like the different areas?
Wow,
Easy
that's a
question.
loaded question. I'm sorry. So, our fair, like all of the fairs,
Hmm.
have either a fair book or an exhibition guide. You can either find them online at the respective fair
Hmm.
websites, or they actually print one. I have mine. Here's ours right here.
Okay, that's what it looks like this year.
Yep, there's our book. And in there are all the different categories that you can enter into,
Okay.
adult and junior, photography, arts and crafts, flowers, fruits and vegetables, canning, cookies, cakes, um, knitting, crocheting, sewing,
Hmm.
woodworking, painting. I mean, there's something in those exhibitions
Yeah.
for pretty much everybody. So the fair book goes out either in print, or you can actually access it right online on our website.
Hmm.
You fill in your little application and it gets submitted in, and then there are specific days and times when you bring your entries in. And there are some people that bring in 15, 20, 30, 40 different entries across
Different
the different.
categories. Wow. Okay.
Yep, yep, absolutely. If you think of somebody that has a lot of different hobbies, you could be making a woodworking over here and knitting over there, but you like to bake, so you bring in your cakes and your
Hmm.
cookies, but you also have a garden, so you bring in your fruits, your vegetables, and your flowers.
That's very cool.
We have superintendents that handle every one of those departments. This year it's kind of exciting. We have a number of new superintendents that are students. They're students here at North Haven High. This will be their first year doing it. So it's exciting. I'm excited for the group of students that are going to come in and they're going to run the departments.
And is that part of a project at the school? Like, is that through the school?
No.
They're just
yes
volunteers.
and no.
Okay.
Yes and no. They came in as volunteers 2 years ago to do their service hours, and they haven't looked back. They've been here on and off all summer, and I'm like, hey, what do you think about doing this?
Yeah.
And so there's a group of them that are going to take over. One's taking over, I think, junior cakes maybe, and one in adult arts and crafts, and another two, I think, in knitting and crocheting or something. I don't remember exactly where, but yeah. So to me, that's really exciting to have the youth come in and get involved.
Board members of the future, it sounds like.
Well, let's hope so. Let's hope so, because they bring in really good ideas, you know?
Yeah.
Part of the challenge for us here in North Haven at the North Haven Fair is really two challenges, right? What's your demographic? You know, you've got your grandparents and the families, but you also want the youth to come, and they look at things very, very differently. You know, your grandparents still want to see some of the old farm equipment.
Yep.
But we would like the youth to learn about that old farm equipment. And we're also, if you think about it, we're surrounded by urban areas. All the other fairs in Connecticut are surrounded by farmland.
Yeah.
Think of Durham, think of Brooklyn, think of, you know, they're all way surrounded by, we're not.
Yeah.
We're not. So we're in a unique situation to try and bridge that youth gap and also bridge that urban gap.
You are listening to the Municipal Voice on WNHH 103.5 FM. So you're an agricultural fair, so you want to have activities like the horse pull and whatever, but you also want to have other things to draw people in. And I was looking at your website. You have a lot of fun activities going on. One that caught my eye that I think might be part of this kind of difference by being down here is the Lucha Libre wrestling.
Yep, the wrestling.
Which is the Mexican style wrestling. Which
it is
flair and excitement and all that kind of stuff, and is, you know, not oxbow, but is also going to attract, you know,
it's going to attract a different demographic. We're hoping to have also a Mexican rodeo, but I wouldn't put that out there yet because none of that's confirmed. But there are rodeos that occur down here, usually on a monthly basis. That a group out of New York, one of the bigger rodeo companies, come in and they have a kind of fiesta here with the rodeos and the music and the best tacos you're ever going to have. So we are expanding because of our demographic. You know, our demographic is, again, very different than, say, the Brooklyns and the Bridgewater fairs and everybody else. One of our biggest goals, or one of my biggest goals for the fair, is to bridge that bring the agriculture into the urban environments. And so those people that are out there and want to volunteer and have ideas how we can bridge that, you know, we want to make sure that people understand that eggs come from Stop and Shop, yes, but where do they get before then? We've had a joke around here where people have put eggs in the rabbit cages. So there are people that actually believe that the rabbits lay the eggs on the farm here. They don't, clearly. But really, we're looking to try and bring some of what we have to offer here in terms of agriculture and education and bring it more out of the immediate community and bring it into those that may not know a lot about agriculture, or those that want to try and have their own little garden, or even if they only have a porch or a patio, how can we teach them to grow some things right there on the deck?
Yeah. So maybe come for the entertainment and fried dough, but you might leave with a little bit more knowledge and appreciation for agriculture in Connecticut.
Absolutely.
And if people want to find more information, they can check out the website where?
www.northaven-fair.com. And all the entertainment and information is out there.
The whole schedule. You are listening to the Municipal Voice on WNHH 103.5 FM.
We spoke with Mike O'Neill, the former president of the Bethlehem Fair Society, in this interview from our archives. Mike, thanks for joining us on the show today.
Well, glad to be here. Hopefully, I can answer all your questions.
I'm sure you can. So, as we said in the intro to the show, the Fall Fair is probably one of Connecticut's most, famous summer attractions. What drew you personally to the Bethlehem Fair? Did you start out as a volunteer and kind of work your way up?
I started out as a helper worker many, many years ago, probably about 1970.
All right.
And I worked my way up to eventually being a volunteer for many, many years.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got nominated as a director, and I don't remember how long I was a director or when.
Mm-hmm.
And then one of the past vice presidents stepped down,
Mm-hmm.
and I filled in for him for, I think, a year. And then they decided to put my name in as president, and I've been there the last 4 years.
There you go. So you've certainly paid your dues over the years, it sounds like.
Yes.
How important is the fair to Bethlehem, to the greater area, kind of like economically?
Before the fair, the 3 days of the actual fair, we have
Mm-hmm.
vendors that come in little over a week before.
Mm-hmm.
And they're always looking for the local grocery stores. They're looking for the local restaurants.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know the exact impact, but I'm hoping.
But it's definitely noticeable that there's more going on in town,
Yes.
not just the days of the fair, but a little bit before and
Goes
kind
on
of surrounding it.
before, and then even up to yesterday, we still have some of the campers up there, the vendors that camp,
Mm-hmm.
and they have to eat someplace. Some of them, like I said, they buy groceries. Some just run down to the restaurants.
Mm-hmm.
So
it definitely adds to the local economy.
it does a little something for everybody.
That's what we like, doing a little something for everybody. Do you talk with the people that run the other fairs in Connecticut? Do you go visit them, share like tips and tricks? Do you recommend vendors or anything like that?
Yes, we do, because we belong to I'm not sure the exact title, but we belong to the Northwest Corner group of fairs.
Mm-hmm.
We have 2 meetings a year, and then we kick ideas and whatever information back and forth at those. You can bring up anything, discuss anything. And then even during the off season, if you have a question or a problem, or how does this fair do this? How do we do this on our end? We just make phone calls, go back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
We're always sharing, and we have an excellent relationship with all the other fairs.
That's great. Yeah, if anyone has answers for what to do in certain situations at a fair, it's the other people that are doing it on the ground. Yes. Certainly.
Yes, we go back and forth all the time.
So speaking of other fairs, what is your relationship to the Garlic Festival? Because that also takes place at the fairgrounds, correct?
Yes, we rent them the fairgrounds,
mm-hmm.
and they run the whole thing.
So that's not you guys don't run that. They're just using the facilities.
We don't run it. They just use our grounds. We try and have 2 or 3 directors on site for the 2 days in case they have a problem, so we can get it solved as quickly as possible for them. But otherwise, that is strictly their event, and they do excellent. And we do trade space on our midways. We give them a space at the Bethlehem Fair. They give us a space at the Garlic Festival.
So you're not directly related, but you guys definitely work together and both enjoy each other's fairs, it sounds like.
Yes, we do.
You are listening to the Municipal Voice on WNHH 103.5 FM. So where's the draw for the fair come from? Is it mostly people that live in Bethlehem? Do you get visitors from different parts of the state, other states? Like what's the pull?
I would say, I don't know, percentage wise, a big draw is the people in town. We get people from just about all corners of the state when you stop and talk to people. We get people from out of state. I've talked to people that for some reason they've been coming to this fair for 18, 20 years. And I think we draw pretty much from all the local surrounding areas that it's worthwhile driving from.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, I've been to the Bethlehem Fair myself, despite having never lived there, and certainly enjoyed it over the years. I was wondering if we could get a little bit more in depth about what kind of goes into putting on a fair like this, and kind of what was the thought process for this year versus holding it or not holding it? Like, how did that decision play out?
This year, it kept everybody on their toes because without knowing what was going on with this COVID Delta,
Mm-hmm.
we were nervous up until halfway through the week before the fair because we didn't know if somebody could come in and say, nope, that's it, we're
It's
shutting
shutting it
down.
down. Yeah.
And there's a lot of work involved. I happen to have a great support cast of directors and
Mm-hmm.
superintendents behind me. And I don't even know all the logistics as
Yeah.
long as I've been involved in the fair. And it's tons and tons and tons of work to actually put on a 3-day fair. And
Definitely.
it's already started. One of your questions was, when do we start for next year? We've already started.
Kind of like Santa, just the next day you get going for the next year.
Yes.
Yeah, we certainly can appreciate the complicated of this stuff. We're trying to plan, and we are planning our convention right now for end of November, and it's quite a lot of logistics,
Yeah.
certainly.
It's a lot of logistics.
Yeah. So as you're back this year, and you certainly had a full program. You had classic cars, timber chopping, all sorts of farm stuff, of course, and you even had a Neil Diamond tribute band.
Yes.
What's your personal favorite part of the fair?
I think there's times when I can take a break. I'll just park because I run around in a golf cart mostly.
Mm-hmm.
I just park. I like to watch the kids, and I am still amazed at how many elderly people are coming to our fair.
Great. So all ages.
Yes, that's my part. The actual vendors and the rides and the animals, where I deal with that stuff so much anyway. But fair days, I like to sit back and just watch the people enjoy the fair.
That's what you really do it all for, is
Yes,
for the families.
That's my favorite part.
And so if that's your favorite part, what do you think is the most popular attraction with the people that come to the fair?
That one takes some thinking. I know the rides are a big draw, but you can go to any carnival or go to Quasi and go on rides.
Yeah. Are there like any of the competitions that you kind of stand out at?
The wood chopping is a very big draw. Our animal barns with the cows and the goats, they're getting there slow but sure.
Yeah.
But I would almost have to say the biggest crowd I see is either the wood chopping or our Saturday night bands. We can usually tell if we got a good band that night because by 3:30, 4 o'clock, when the people start pouring in, we kind of know they're here to see the band.
Yeah. That's so, you said when you see the big crowd coming for the Saturday night band, you kind of got it right. Who chooses the bands? Is there someone that's kind of in charge of being the music person?
We have an entertainment committee of 4 or 5 people, and they're already starting on next year too. And they'll just take suggestions. They do research on different bands, who does what bands really draw. We go to Seven Angels, the Infinity Theater.
So kind of the local arts people that might know like who's up and coming or is really hot right now, sort of stuff.
Yes, because some of the bands, which I hate to admit it, but we try and catch them either on their way up or on their way down. Because once they hit the top, we can't afford them anymore.
Yeah, too big for Bethlehem. You got to get them just the right spot.
Yes.
So you have the farm things and you have the contests, like for instance, the tomato contest. Who chooses the judges for something like that? Like, how do you pick that out?
The superintendents all have committees under them to run each section of whatever it is that's going on, and they get together and they choose a judge, and then they just let us know who the judge is. So they all choose a judge that's kind of got more expertise in what they're looking for, instead of us just saying like picking you. Oh, you want to be the judge of the zucchini plants or something.
You want someone that actually knows what they're talking about. Yeah.
Yes.
That's always good. We need more people to know what they're talking about around. So the fair is obviously a lot of fun for everybody, but there's things that you do as an organization that go beyond just the fair. We saw on your website that the fair awards a scholarship, raises money to award a scholarship in honor of your founder. Can you tell us a bit about that scholarship, like how someone would apply for it, how they would get it, and how it's decided?
It's more than one scholarship. They range anywhere from $1,000 a year for 4 years down to $500 a year for 4 years. It's based on financial need, community service, volunteering at the fair.
So are these high school kids in Bethlehem that would?
They can be from any school. They're not strictly from Bethlehem. We
Okay, that's cool.
From other towns. Percentage of our profits is like we try and donate at least $20,000 a year to the Scholarship Foundation, which is a separate organization from here, even though we're under the same umbrella. And it's a lot of the same people are back and forth.
Just as a legal setup, it's a separate org.
Yes, we try and donate at least $20,000 a year to them every year to keep their scholarships going.
Very cool. Well, Mike O'Neill, thanks so much for speaking with us today. We really appreciate it.
Yes, I had a great time. I hope everybody understood me. I hope my answers were good enough.
I think they were. And I think maybe I'll see you next year at the Bethlehem Fair.
Let us know you're there, sir. And if I can, I'll ride you around and show you the whole fair.
Get the VIP treatment. Well, sounds good. Mike, take care and have a good day.
You too, sir. I appreciate being on. Thank you.